Hello, hello. All right, we are live. We are rocking and rolling. Levels look good. What is going on? How's everybody doing? This is fun. We were going to do this yesterday, but obviously we didn't for a multitude of reasons. Bree was tired and
we had to finish all the joy rides, so there's
yeah,
that
we
too.
did the joyride seasons because she's never seen any of those videos.
Rusty nail.
Joyride 0, 1, the first one 0, and then the second one and the third one. And I think that's why in the 90s we were very nervous about truckers, and that's one of the movies that kind of showed the beautiful lives of a trucker. So what we're going to be doing today is something a little bit different. Bree usually has these little news and quips for me, and I'm never really interested, but I figured that you guys would be. So let's just jump into it. Let's talk about how's everybody doing inside of chat? Everybody's doing all right? This might be the second live that we've done. The first one was when you talked about your childhood, and I got super sad, super depressing. All right, so let's jump it off. Let's talk about your lovely news. Tell them about what happened in New Jersey. Everybody knows about the corona, but Bree's got some lovely news about this.
Okay, so every morning I like to look at the news. See what's up. And in New Jersey, there is a radio station called New Jersey 101.5, and I love it because they tell the truth, and they're the people's people. Anyway, so they tell stories that other people normally wouldn't. They'd hide it. So today, there's a fun story. Governor Murphy reopened parks a couple weeks ago, and now he's talking about closing them again because people are leaving poop-filled bottles in parks. He closed all of the bathrooms, so people are magically pooping in bottles, closing it up, and just leaving it in a bush.
Are they leaving? Did they get into details as to where the poop bottles are left?
I don't know.
They're just left randomly in the park?
Left randomly.
How do you poop inside of a bottle?
No, I was like, if they pooped in a bottle, I'm impressed.
That's oddly specific,
right?
I mean, I can see if you take a poop on a sidewalk, but this is what's gonna happen. You shut down a bathroom. Where else are people gonna go?
Yeah, so now everybody's pooping and peeing in bottles and just leaving it places, and peeing in bushes and parks and at the beach and stuff. So he's like, I'm gonna close everything down. And he's sending our state troopers into these parks to pick up poop. That's what they're doing here.
See, it's such a misuse of character. If you're gonna, I can't understand that. If you have one person that their sole job is to go to the bathroom to clean up, a janitor, right?
Yeah.
Then what's the big deal? Now you have if you have one person that cleans up the bathroom, that's all that they do. Now, if you have a bunch of state troopers, they have to make it a point to, while they're en route to doing whatever they're doing, multiple state troopers now have to go there to clean up
and look for
poop and pee to throw them away. That's ridiculous. It's when you can have one person do the job of 9. It's such a misuse of power. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Yeah, and they were saying, he wanted to keep bathrooms closed because of the distancing issue. But if you have a bathroom attendant there, what's the problem?
Sure, that could be the same person that's attending the bathroom and making sure it's all good to go would be the same person that would make sure that only one person or 2 people at a time are peeing and pooping.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
And can we turn off the fan?
Is the fan really bothering you? Really?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a fan over there.
Oh my God! It's one of these Dyson jam. I can't. I don't think I.
It's a circle.
I don't know if the camera is picking that up.
But I got contacts.
Thank you, Ms., for becoming a member. Yes, go ahead.
Every time I look at Jay, I get blinded. They get dry. They fall out like Patrick. And
who's Patrick?
on SpongeBob.
His eyes fall out?
Well, he got really dry and he turned into a normal starfish.
And his eyes fell out?
Well, he didn't have them anymore.
Wait, is the fan hitting you now? Because it's barely hitting my armpit.
No, I'm good.
I just like air blowing on me. You know, I like air where it hits me and it's like refreshing. Apparently, it dries out her eyes. Is it hitting you now?
No, I'm good.
Because it's pointed to like the couch.
Does it got your elbow at least?
I think it's got my shoulder. It is what it is. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, so another part of the news is in New York. It kind of sounds like he's hiring a militia because he was using the cops to enforce the coronavirus laws, like to go around, cite people for being in groups, all this other stuff. But
this is Kumo you're talking about now. Okay.
But people are like, this was one of the things that he brought up, was that the people are starting to distrust the police, which is a problem. So he's hiring a special set of people to go around and enforce all of the laws, which to me kind of sounds like martial law in a militia. Like,
wait, the people are doing it?
No, he is. He's having the cops not do it anymore, and he's hiring a militia. Well, not a militia. He's hiring a group of people, like the coronavirus people.
And what do? They go around
giving people tickets, telling them to disperse. Wear masks, that kind of thing.
Wow, dude. Just wow, man.
Right?
So not even using the cops now, just...
Because there was too much distrust. No one wanted the cops. Like, everyone started to hate the police. And he didn't want that stigma to stick around.
And it's kind of it's and the thing is too with New York is it's so populated that to use the cops would be not so much an abuse of power, just you don't have enough of manpower to find all the people. Are they private contractors? I would assume so.
I think so.
I would assume so.
Yeah, like the way that he worded it sounded legally safe, if that makes sense. Like, the words he used were very specific.
So what did you want to say about Trump?
Oh, there's more news.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
Another news.
This is your channel. Go for it.
Yes,
I'm just here to listen.
I love the news in the morning. It just brings me joy. So
you gotta thank him.
Thank you.
That's Jay Miller.
Oh, that's marvelous. Oh, we should have a song. They donate a lot.
Yeah, no song.
Be on repeat.
Yeah.
So, there's a New Jersey Republican dude who tweeted out to defy the governor's orders of New Jersey to go outside, go back to shopping, open up your stores, and stop wearing masks. The backlash was real.
Wait, who did this?
A Republican guy in New Jersey, a senator.
Okay.
He got so attacked so fast. So a little while later, he was like, I didn't mean it. It was a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Okay.
But a lot of people took it seriously. And that's why he had to put out a retraction.
Wait, so he posted on Twitter
yes,
for everybody to ignore whatever the governor is saying.
And go out about your business.
Was he doing it as a joke, or was he doing it...
It seemed serious. It did. But then he came back and said it was a tongue-in-cheek joke.
Do you remember who it was?
No.
It was probably Senator Sweeney, maybe.
It was funny. Let me see. Maybe I could find it. Because they posted about it. Da 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 da. Can't find it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was quite funny because he had to say I didn't mean it.
Right. Yeah. Sure. He's gonna look. And the thing is too is I don't know how they deal with that as far as politicians are concerned. When I don't know why I keep looking at the camera. I'm gonna look at you.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I don't know why they do that. Where politicians kind of override each other. Are they doing that to kind of assert their dominance and say, hey, listen, no matter what he's saying is ridiculous? And it's odd because it's only the northeastern states that are this restrictive. When we were driving down south, we didn't see any of that. You just didn't see any problems. There was nothing. It's just, sorry, we keep looking outside. The car's parked vertically, right?
The car is parked how a mean person would park in a parking lot when they think they have a really nice car.
Right. Well, so my car's parked out there, taking up 3 spots because they're detailing it. I had to have them come out because of the bugs we talked about. Well, they're out there with their little van and their compressors and their buffers, and I just keep looking outside. It's not that I'm distracted. Well,
I see him looking outside, and I look outside
automatically, and the door's unlocked too, so people could essentially walk into the business. So we have to be sure to nip that in the bud.
What should I say?
We're in the middle of We're just closed.
Okay.
We're not open to the public.
Oh, so I forget what it was, but like a week or so ago, I left the door open because Jay had to go outside for something, and someone came inside of the business. And when Jay was already back inside, I guess I forgot to lock it. And he came in, and I was like, "I'm sorry, but you have to leave right now."
Yeah, you have to get out of the. Oh yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. That was. Yeah, you have to leave the store.
And he was like,
well,
"I just wanted."
you know the people. Oh well, I just want to buy a car. I just want to buy a battery. Can I just buy a battery? It's not a vape. No, you have to leave the store. We're not open. And then they'll argue with you about selling them a battery or a coil. So go ahead with your news. I know you got more news.
Oh yes. So this one has a video to accompany it.
Yeah, you could just tell them to get the fuck out.
I can't say that,
No,
guys.
but I could.
Y'all gonna get me fired. Let me see. Oh, yes. I forgot about this one. Oh, this isn't the Trump one. This is something else. So Elon Musk has a facility in California. His facilities are closed. Elon Musk was like, not having that. I need to open. So he threatened to move to Texas or Nevada. You know what California does? You can reopen. You can stay here. You can just open up a business.
See, I heard about that. I heard that he just ignored it, but I didn't know about that. I'm gonna move because that's a good argument. Is okay. You don't want me to be open here, then I'll bring my money elsewhere and then pay the state taxes there. So it makes sense. Yeah, but he said that he didn't have enough of workforce or something, right? For
Oh no, he does. He does. He has 20,000 employees from California.
Right.
That come there and work there.
Okay.
And then he said that he has all this facility set up, and a little bit of an iffy thing is that he's giving people a date that they can come back to work. If they choose not to come back to work, their unemployment is stopped. They don't receive benefits from the job any longer and all this other stuff because they are able to go to work. But you are able to choose to stay home without being fired. No paid leave, no unemployment, no nothing.
Hold on, I gotta go show them.
So it's a little iffy.
So you keep talking to them. I gotta go show because there's more than just one spot.
You got it.
Show them. So go ahead, keep talking to them.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Oh my goodness. Okay, so every morning I listen to New Jersey 101.5 because there's this guy on there named Bill Spadia, and he's super cool, and he just talks back and forth, so it's quite interesting. And he actually stood up for vaping, like when vaping was going to get banned. Like he would go on there, say, vaping's cool, and all this other stuff. So now he's standing up and saying, don't wear a mask, don't do this, don't do that. Like, so I like hearing it because it's not what you hear on the news. So it's nice, it's refreshing. It's like hearing Jay on the radio every morning, you know? So it's quite nice. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Elon also said on Joe Rogan that he was selling everything off. Oh, everything? But you just wanted me to say it silly? And how about the Joe Rogan buying an island to go and shoot UFC on islands? That's impressive.
Wait, so now we're backtracking to old news now.
Well, because they brought up Joe Rogan.
Right, and the island?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't do that though, right?
No, but that would be super cool.
But he bought the island.
I think he did.
He bought the island.
We should tell him we need to use it for Hayes Land. Hayes headquarters.
And then who's going to pay him the money that he paid for the island?
He's just going to give it to us. We're going to let him fight on it. We use the island the rest of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So what news did I miss aside from that?
Oh.
Did you go over the Trump thing?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, because there's a video that accompanies this, which is quite fascinating, honestly. And I think Jay's going to get a kick out of it. I haven't shown him yet. Let me see if I could pull it up. I also use Apple News for my newses. No, not that. How do you find an ad that you liked?
On Apple News?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Nah. Okay, I'll use the YouTubes. Can I use your YouTube? Can we plug it? Or just the audio is probably fine.
Well, do you not remember what he said?
Well, I only remember a little bit of it.
So they have to. So check this out, guys. The bugs that are on there, the love bugs, they can't get it out with the chemicals they have. They have to wet sand it. How crazy is that? They have to wet sand the hood to get the bug stuff off. That's nuts. What's wrong?
I have to find it, and I don't want to like be on screen looking for it. Trump. Here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I just hold the phone up and they'll hear it.
They'll hear it now. Yeah,
Oh!
Microphone will pick it up.
Wow! So, you know how every day President Trump goes in front of a whole bunch of angry reporters where one of them is always kind of on his side, but he might be a plant? Well, this didn't go well for him yesterday. Here's what happened. So, a little bit of backstory since you guys can't see the video. The woman who is speaking is Chinese. Personally, I don't think that matters at all for what's happening, but of course, she does.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
So it says, Trump abruptly cuts off press briefing.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world, and maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
I don't see how that was directed towards her.
That
and
wasn't
her country.
at all.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was directed towards her or the country. I feel like that was just...
That's what he says literally to half of the questions he asked.
Oh my God.
But she flipped it into her being a woman and her being Chinese. Like, sit down.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that she would, and I don't see how he said you should go ask China that question. What's the problem with that? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but then she just made it about herself. And then what happens else in the video? The woman behind her gets called on. The woman behind her does not start to talk. Again, the Chinese lady asks like something else, like, why is that directed at me, President? And
Is that how she looked?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he goes to someone else off in the corner. Like, tell me your question over there. Because that's where they were. And then the other person's over there. So then the lady's like, you called on me, President Trump. Why are you pointing at her? He's like, you didn't talk when I pointed at you. So I'm going to somebody else. She's like, yeah, but you pointed at me. And then they're all bickering with each other. Like, all these women are just fighting with each other. Who's going to ask the next coronavirus question? He goes, have a great day, and he leaves.
You know, and Kyler brought this up on his Facebook. He said that it's crazy because when you watch a lot of, you wonder why Trump is so mean to the press, and it's because everything he says is always picked apart by the press. So it's a valid point of, you know, he goes in there to answer questions and stuff, but if everything that I answer you're just going to rip apart, why am I even bothering doing the press?
Yeah, if you're just going to rebuttal everything that I say.
Every single thing, every single, oh my God, it's terrible.
And even people who don't like Trump, if they heard that exchange between him and that Chinese woman, I'm pretty sure they'd also be like, he always says go ask China. Like, no one else would think that it's directed at her specifically.
Sure. Yeah, she was just very oddly specific that because I'm Chinese, you're saying go ask China. I think that's ridiculous.
He says that every other word.
So stupid. Like... So stupid.
Did you see any news?
No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know that as soon as you wake up, you probably pop on the. No. Let me see if I can play this. You wake up, you sit in your bed, you get an energy drink.
No.
Okay, let me try again. You wake up, you sit in your bed, you open up the laptop, you open up your iPad. Stop me when I hit something that is gold.
Okay.
You open up your iPad. You go pee. You open up your phone. Okay. You play Legend of Soul Guard. Okay, just tell me what it is, because I'm
Okay.
just gonna guess everything. Okay.
Every morning I wake up, I
Yep.
open up my phone.
Yep.
First, I check New Jersey 101.5. I listen to their silly ad with that Barbara Streisand lady, the
Okay.
lady from the Shark Tanks. Because she's always pushing this dude who
Is it
sells
Barbara
houses.
Streisand?
Maybe not.
Barbara
What's her name?
Barbara Streisand.
That's not her name.
No, I don't think so. Unless Barbara Streisand is new on Shark Tank. Barbara Streisand is the Jewish singer, the lesbian lady. You're thinking of Barbara, the blonde hair chick.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. You listen to the Barbara Streisand ad.
Yeah,
Right.
and she tells me that I should get my house sold by this guy, and I'm like, I don't need a house, so I just listen to the rest of it, and then it starts to play the news for me on the radio. So once the radio starts to play, I can leave the app and it'll continue to play, and then I check to see what news was posted, and then I go into Apple News and I see what news was posted there. I'm like, it's getting kind of late, maybe I should pee. So then I go and I pee, and then I grab my water from the refrigerator and I mix it up with the energy drink stuff and I shake it up, and then I get out my iPad and I play Soul Guard while still listening to the radio, and then I finish my energy drink, I get changed into workout clothes, and then I start to work out while still listening.
What time is it by the time you start working out? What time is that?
8.
So what time do you wake up at?
7.
So from 7 to 8, you manage to get an energy drink, listen to news, and play a game.
And pee.
Okay, got
and
it.
change.
Got it. So you work out at 8.
Yeah.
Yep. So, okay, while you're working out, are you listening to 101.5 still?
Yeah.
So you have news playing. You have like 9 things going on.
Yeah.
You don't feel like that's hard to absorb everything in?
Well, when someone calls that's interesting,
Mhm.
I turn it up and I listen.
Okay. All right. So you listen to news every morning?
Mhm.
Wow.
Except Saturday and Sunday, because it's just songs.
It's not. Oh, really? So they don't do any news on those days?
No,
That's
Saturday and
interesting.
Sunday it's just cool rock.
Okay. Is it good songs?
Yeah.
It's for old people?
It's good songs from
For
a
old-
different generation.
For old people. You could say it. Everybody here is old.
I don't even
In
hate
your
the songs.
context.
I like the songs.
Okay.
They're not like bad. But you know what they play a lot of?
Mm.
That song.
Is there any lyrics, or is it just like an instrumental?
I Sharona.
Oh, I got it. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
they're
they-
playing that because it's a UPS guy. I got
Hello.
it. I got it.
Good things.
What's they charge for?
What's that?
Oh, for the car. So
That's a high
oh yeah, so they play the I Sharona song. They also play the Don't Stand So Close to Me. That song is pretty fun. Oh my goodness. So they're trying to like come up with words that they can place in these songs to kind of do their own personal remix. And they started to use the word vaccine and in play. What's that song? I had it on the tip of my tongue.
I need to get in
It
the
starts.
chair.
It starts with like Christine. What song has Christine in it?
Christine.
I'm not good with songs. Anyway, they changed Christine to vaccine, and it was a laugh.
What does Brie consider old? That's a good question. She says in songs played from the 80s that they're old.
Well, there's certain songs that I really enjoy
Right.
that are super old, like Mr. Sandman. Love it.
Okay, that's from like
I
the 50s.
love it. It's so cute.
super old.
It's amazing. Same thing. Oh, for the Mickey song. I don't know how old that is.
I think that's 70s.
That's
hey,
fun,
Mickey,
too.
You're so fun. Yeah, I think that's 70s. So, but those are old. But when no, when we were talking this morning, you said something was really old, and it didn't make sense because it's not old. I think we just have a different level of what old is. What do you consider an old person?
Ooh, I'm gonna offend a lot of people.
That's
though.
okay. You're probably gonna offend me. That's fine. Go ahead. Just say it. Don't look at chat. Just answer the question.
Well, I think at different stages in your life, you consider different kinds of people old. So let's say someone is 20 years older than me, they're old.
So what is someone that's 30 years older than you? Really old?
Even older.
So so you're judging age based off of your age.
Yes. I think everybody does.
So when you're 40, what are you?
I'm not old. I'm fabulous. Whoever is 60 would be old.
But okay, so if you're 40 and someone's 55, are they old?
No, they're not that old. Because we're still pretty close.
That's weird. You're judging age based off of your age.
Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that what everybody does?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Not really, because when I was 20, I didn't think 40 was old. I thought 55, 60 was old. And I'd still say now 55, 60 is old.
Oh, really?
So that has not changed. I mean, you start getting retirement at what, 65, right? So that's, well, what's senior citizen, 55?
I don't know. I think AARP starts at 65.
That way she never gets old. Yeah? Yeah, if she bases age based off of her age, then she, in fact, will never be old.
No.
Okay. So anybody right now that is 46 or older is old. Because you're saying 20 years older than you. You're 27. So anybody that's 47 and up is old. Okay. Well.
A little.
Well, I don't. Okay. Well.
And it also depends, like, on the person. Like, some old people don't act old at all.
If you're in a retirement age, you're old. I agree with that. I agree. If you're, yeah, I agree. If you're 55 years old, you're old. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
And, like, speaking of getting old, I'm super scared of hitting 30. And Jay said that 30 is the best years of a woman's life.
It is.
Which I feel like is a trap. Like, a little bit. Like, I'm skeptical about it. Because I feel like in their 20s, women are like, the 20s are the best. In the 30s, women are like, 30s are your best because I'm in it. And then when they're 40, they're like, 40s are the best because now I have menopause.
No,
like, it's...
no. Anybody, any woman would tell you that even if they're in their 20s, most of them will tell you that the 30s are the best years just because that's what they know.
Is it like the grass is greener thing? Like you think it's going to be better?
No. I mean, anybody, well, even women that are older, that are in their 40s, we have plenty of women in here now, but even women that are in their 40s or in the 50s will say that the 30s were the best times. That's when your body you hit your sexual peak. That's when that's kind of it, the 30s. That's what they say, the 30s.
Well, it's just like, I feel like once you hit 30, you're expected to have things. Like, you're expected to know everything. Like, who you are, what you are, not lease a car, own it, not rent an apartment, own an apartment, and you're supposed to have a whole bunch of kids, you're supposed to be married, you're supposed to have a nice, successful job. Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I feel like all those things accumulate to 30.
I'd say 30 to 35 is when all that stuff that you just said should be legitimized.
Which is scary, because right now, 0 of those boxes are checked. like, I'm never going to work in an office.
No, Amanda, we're not talking about... No, we're not... I'm not talking about whether it's successful for each individual woman. That's not what I'm saying. I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm saying that women will tell you not 30s are the best years of their lives. 30s are not just alone the best years, like the best shape you've ever been in, the the most financially stable, or when you start your financial gain. It's not just about whether or not they were good years. It's years that you've matured, that you're a woman, that you're no longer in your 20s anymore. You have responsibilities.
Yes.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about having a good time. That's the case. I had the best time in the 20s. I'm not saying successful. I'm saying gauging who you are, who you will be, what you will be, all happens in your 30s, especially as a woman.
And then what happens after that, you know? Like, is it all downhill? Like, that's a scary number to hit, because if that's your peak, then everything else is just a negative. You know? So it's like...
Well, even when we watched that thing, right? Remember when we watched that thing on Netflix with the age groups?
Yes.
Right? So who performed the best out of the age groups?
20s.
And then what?
70s?
That's right. And do you remember why they said it started to trickle down at 20s, went really low in the 30s, started to go up in the 40s, started to go up in the 50s, and the 60s and 70s did really good?
No.
Is because that's the whole midlife crisis. That's when your responsibilities start to go up, when everything starts to happen in your life and it's so much for you to absorb, you don't have really time to think about things. And that's why at the very beginning, you have no responsibilities. At the end, you've already completed all your responsibilities. So that mid part, 30s and 40s, is, I mean, they did a whole statistical thing. I can't remember what was the name of the show. It was a little biased.
100 people.
100 questions or something? 100 people?
100. Oh, the 100? No, that's a dystopian future. Yeah, it was 100 something. Anyway, they had a whole bunch of different age brackets, and they were all doing different things to see what age was the best and what sex is the best, and just asking questions in a way that can be easily manipulated. Like, if they asked it differently, I think all of their answers would have been totally different.
I'm just reading chat. What did they say? Scroll up. No, it's well, yeah, it's 100 people. It's a little biased because and that's really the problem I start to have with science and polls, is because they take 50 people that do this and they take 50 people that do that. But the problem is with that study is those original 50 people that you could have I'm sorry, I'm watching them with this extension cord. The original 50 people, you have to watch it, but they should have, like, they look at a TV and then they say, okay, this TV looks heavy because it has a picture of bricks on it. And then they take a different bracket of people and show a different picture and say, what do you get out of it? Those numbers are going to be skewed. That's not good scientific results, because you're not asking the same person a question to gauge what their opinion is. You're asking them a different question with a different picture. So it's not good science. It's just, I guess it's more for fun than it is for statistical evidence.
Yeah, like entertainment.
Yeah, it's more for entertainment. But the idea is, they talk to a lot of doctors in it, but the idea is in the 30s and the 40s is when you have so much stuff going on that you're not really thinking about what it was like in your 20s or what it was like in your 19 or your teens. You're thinking about this decade here, I got to get my shit together. It's time to be responsible. And that's just, it's a general consensus. Whether or not people agree with it or have a different experience, I guess it is relevant in a sense, but I think it's a good argument. I do.
Yeah, like one of the flawed kind of tasks that they did was they said women were better multitaskers because they held a crying baby, mixed some mixing stuff, and like beat a whack-a-mole all at the same time. And I feel like that's not really a fair assessment of multitasking.
It's not. And two of the best people that did it, there was a lot of men that didn't do good on it, but that doesn't mean that men are bad fathers. That's just
a weird task.
Like it's a weird task, but two of the best people that did it were two dudes. But because of the other people that were bad on it, it messed up the average. So to do a test like that and then to gauge how women can multitask better than men, I don't see the argument. I think it's a very silly test, to be honest with you. You know, you can't just test 5 people and just go for a gold right there. Science is very objective, Mowgli. It's extremely objective. Yeah, first time I got married was in my 20s. Second time I got married was also in my 20s. So yeah, 20s is, I guess one could use the argument that 20s were not the best spread of my life, but as far as experiences, but I would relive the 20s all over again. In all of my 20s, I was deployed, so I mean, what does that say about me as a person?
Oh, so can I talk about something else?
I feel that 30 is a peak because around 60 is when health problems tend to start, specifically hereditary ones. On my 30th birthday, I got down a bit. I was like, fuck, I might have been 30 years left. Yeah. I mean, typically speaking, when you hit your 40s, you're kind of right above half your life expectancy, right? I mean, if you're American, depending on the country you live in and what the average, I think the average human in America lives to 81 or 70 something, 70s or 80s. So go ahead. What was the other thing?
And we were watching a movie.
Yep.
Oh, what was it? The guy. Okay, so there's this guy. He gets married. He goes to Hawaii. He meets this other girl. He's like, I don't like my wife, and then he leaves her for the other girl. We just watched it. Sunburnt. Ugly. $40,000 in debt.
Heartbreak Kid.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember? Okay, so there's Ben
Stiller.
Yep. Guess what? His father just died yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we were just watching a movie, and I was like, that's his real dad? And then we looked it up, and we learned about him a little. And then I just saw that he died.
Wow.
At 92.
The next taste test, you know, oddly enough, when we do the taste test, they don't get any traction on this channel at all. Any. It's not that we don't like doing it. We're trying to find the niche that what this channel is and will be. So the taste tests don't really do very well here.
Oh, so I know that a lot of people are using Netflix right now, probably watching movies and TV shows. So there's this TV show called Workin' Moms. Personally, I think it's adorable. It's about like moms that are working, that have babies, you know, like the funny stuff that happens. Okay. It's mostly positive.
Right.
So this lady, she is like a PR person.
Okay.
And she's trying to get people to join her PR firm. And this guy is like, I need your help. And then she turns into a men's right activist as a woman.
Okay.
And like it's spiraling out of control right now. But I thought that was fascinating because everyone's hating on her for trying to stand up for men's rights, even though she's not totally on that. It looks like it by the books. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with that? You know, what's wrong with standing up for men?
Well, well, most men would agree with you. Women will not agree with you. Most women would not agree with you because they feel that men get enough of stubbornness by themselves that they don't need a woman backing them.
Oh. So I thought you might like it. One of the things that got her the job was because in a meeting, she was like, oh yeah, I'm going through a divorce with my husband, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, you got the house. She's like, no, I got an apartment. He kept the house. And he was like, no way.
Wait, is this real or is it just like
it's a show.
Oh, it's like it's not a reality show. It's
no, it's a scripted.
It's a script. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I thought it was cute because she got an apartment and he kept the house, which is absurdly rare. Like that never happens. So I think that it's kind of a bad rep for dudes. Like every time they get a divorce, they lose half of the things they own to a woman who probably betrayed them. Like
that is very much the case.
That's dark.
It is. It's very much the case. So tell them what happened in the chocolate sniffer video, because they're saying how they like that. They thought it was funny. Do you remember what happened in the chocolate sniffer video? How we had to cut a good 20 minutes out of it?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Tell them. Don't be embarrassed. It's fine. Tell them.
I didn't know what to say anymore. We were talking to the camera for a good hour.
We.
Yeah.
We? So when you do these videos, right, the hard part of the taste testing, or we were watching someone that was on AGT today, and they kind of, well, they weren't on today, but we were watching his video today, and he was saying that how it's so hard to turn a camera on and just automatically turn on hilarity, to be funny, to have some comedic content. Well, when we did the chocolate sniffer video, you wouldn't know this, but that video was probably an hour and 20 minutes long.
It was very long.
It was very long, and Bree felt very uncomfortable with the whole video because she was expecting more from it. And when you go to the taste testing, I mean, there's only so much that you can do, and then you realize that other people are doing it as well. So we don't want to be part of that, Me Too. We want to be part of something different. We want to create our own niche or type of content, if you will. So that's why we kind of venture into things. That's the saying that taste testing isn't going to go away. It's just, if we're doing it for fun, it's more of a task to do it unless it's something that we feel like we want to do. Does that make sense? Did I speak what you were feeling, or did I miss the mark? You don't want to say anything.
No, you did it.
I have a very unconventional views on those types of things. On which types of things, Lace?
Probably on the men thing.
Well, what's your unconventional view on that, Lace? I'd like to hear it.
There is a delay.
There is a, I don't know why the delay is there. It should essentially, let me see something, stream settings. Yeah, there shouldn't be that much of a delay. It should be pretty good. Let's see. On men and divorce, child support, etc. Well, what can you be a little bit more specific about that, Lace? See, like things like that we have fun with, like the reviews of products, the food. And again, it's not saying that it's not fun. It's just, it's forced fun is what it is. I mean, if you would have saw the whole chocolate sniff video, it would, obviously the power of editing can make anything good. Anything. I mean, you're cutting an hour video into 8 minutes, right? So you take only the good parts. For divorce, the men shouldn't be taken for everything they work for. They built that life together, so it should be 50-50.
Personally, I don't think that it should be 50-50. If the men went to work and the men purchased the house and the men did this and the men did that and they deserve what they worked for, why would I get a piece of what you've spent your life on? That's not right.
I would have to agree.
An alimony? Are you crazy? You
Yeah,
didn't
that's
work
crazy.
our whole marriage, and now you're expecting me to pay you like you do work?
The argument of alimony is that the woman can't go get a job because she's never worked.
Well, she should have gotten off her butt earlier in the relationship.
Okay, I agree. At the same time, by law, we could use that argument all day, but by law, it doesn't matter. The argument that lawyer is going to pose for that spouse is, well, she couldn't work, so therefore, in order for her to get back on her feet, she needs money monthly for the rest of her life, for 10 years to establish her life, so she can, that's what it is.
10 years?
And that 10 years is like a minimal requirement.
I see why people murder their
Right.
spouses.
That's what happens.
You want $5,000 a month.
Alimony is bullshit. It is, and it's very hard to fight that. And I know this because of my second marriage. Your alimony, to win not paying alimony is extremely difficult. It's you have to prove a lot of things, and that it's tough. As far as 50-50, I'm gonna have to agree. I don't feel that my ex-wife is able to get one of my cars. If I own 4, she shouldn't get 2 of them. Especially, I was thinking about that today while I was taking a shower. So let's just say you don't. Let's just say hypothetically we're married and we get a divorce, and I have 4 motorcycles, and I give you 2, but you don't have a motorcycle license. You can't ride those. So what do you need those 2 bikes for? So you get your half of it, and then what? You sell them, which I worked my ass off to get those. So you just get to have those because you had the title of my wife? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell. There's people that even go as far as splitting up dogs and splitting up kids. Yeah, it gets rough, man. When you start talking about properties and cars and children, and everything is treated as objects. Everything is an object. It doesn't matter. It could be a human life. It could be a dog. It's an object.
Why don't you just keep what's yours and I keep what's mine? Like, I keep my clothes, I keep my water bottle, and you keep your clothes and you keep your water bottle.
Right, but then you have nothing to go to. So if everything that is in my name, and I take that when I leave, you get nothing.
Well, you let me keep my stuff, right?
Well, but okay, sure. But you have that might be the only materials you have. You don't have a place to live.
Right. Well, that was my fault.
But you were married for 20 years.
Well, I shouldn't have gotten divorced.
Generally speaking, no. But things don't work out, and I don't know. It's hard because I have to play both sides of the fence. I don't think that when it comes down to a house, what I do think should happen is you sell it and they get a percent of it.
Oh.
I don't know about 50%. I don't know how I feel about 50-50. I feel more towards 70-30. I feel better towards 80-20. And then, because if the house is, $600,000, you can easily go get a house down south, for 60 grand, for 100 grand. 50-50, that's where I start getting a little bit of resilience.
Yeah, I think a lot of things aren't fair.
See, DB Squonks, my wife got my only motorcycle, and she doesn't even have a motorcycle endorsement. See, that's what I'm talking about,
what?
DB.
That's ridiculous.
And then they sell it.
Why don't you just let me keep it?
Vindictive. That's the best word that I got for you. Vindictive.
It's terrible.
It happens. It's just they get messy.
Because they're mad.
They're mad because it didn't work out and they're not getting what they want. Right, there should be exceptions, but as a general rule, 50-50, anyone that makes things that won't use just out of spite is complete crap. Right, like taking a motorcycle when you don't have a motorcycle endorsement. Or you have a car, but you want my other car because it's newer than the car you have.
They could do that?
Yeah.
Why are things so in favor
of the woman?
Yeah, especially today where everything's equal.
Everything is supposed to be equal opportunity.
Then why wouldn't a divorce? I get the kids, I get the house, I get alimony, and I get everything.
Because it's not to give you a very quick answer to that. I would say that the reason why that it usually favors the woman is because of the heartstrings or the emotions that are attached with it. So, first off, if you have a female judge, you're in for a treat. This is going to be fun. Now, if you have a male judge, it may play a little bit in your favor, unless, of course, the woman starts crying. And then what happens? The man gets emotional, and then he starts to feel bad, so he makes a decision. And you really can't appeal alimony. Like, it's not you can. It's not going to do anything. It is what it is. It's final say. That's just crazy. The way that it is. But I think it's because of the woman and the emotion that's attached with it.
Could it be that the laws also haven't been updated since like the 40s, where women actually were not working?
Well, the thing is with the alimony, there are laws and there are precedences that are set in place for states, but in order for a precedence to be set, one must be broken.
Oh, so some dude has to win to not give his wife a dime.
Right. And then that kind of sets a precedence, and then here's an exception. Now we add that to the law. Again, that's not saying every case is like that, but that's usually the way that it goes.
So there has to be like a Roe versus Wade of divorces.
Well, I mean, that's a bit of an extreme situation, but yes. Yes.
That's insane. Attorneys are $600 an hour?
And that's putting it that's not even a great attorney. That's just the general.
Why?
On my second divorce, I had a $20,000 retainer. $20,000 retainer.
What does that mean?
That means I give him $20,000 to work with me, and then that money he can tap into to pay for him. And then if there's anything left over, which there never is, you get that money back. So it was a $20,000 retainer. So I got him for $20,000. That's the guy you heard me talking to on the phone, the gym dude.
Yeah.
$20,000 retainer, and then I know him. Like, you've heard our conversation. Like, I know him, so he obviously gave me a discount, but he was $950 an hour after the $20,000. Cost me a total of $65,000. Yep.
How come you didn't make anybody sign one of those pieces of paper?
A prenuptial agreement?
Yeah. Is that like a mood killer? Like, why don't men do that more?
I don't think so. A lot of celebrities do prenuptial agreements, but I don't know. To have a prenup written up to where you don't get shit if we get divorced. I guess if you love the person, you're quick to sign that. But if your goal is obviously to get something at the end, let me tell you something. So I'm getting married. I give you a prenup, and you're like, nah, I don't like that. You got to bring that back. We're not getting married. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like the stipulations,
just push it back.
No, that's not going to work. Okay, then we're not going to work, and I'm just going to take my prenup and my marriage and keep it in my fucking pocket. Because if we're making agreements before we're even married, this is starting off on a bad foot. You know, so you gotta, I don't know. Prenups are a thing because of people that are vindictive.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Can prenups get overturned?
No. You can find holes in it, but you can't override it. Like, if it says you don't get anything, you can't just be like, oh, well, there's a stipulation that says I can get something. No. It says right there in the first line, you get nothing. So that's it. My dad's was $1,200 an hour. Yeah. It gets expensive,
Whoa.
man. Criminal attorneys are even more. Like, that are going to get you out of jail. It's even more.
Yeah.
It's even more because that's your life you're talking about.
Or for only what you had. Oh.
Yeah, before, not what you have during. Yep.
Ooh.
So you get a prenup saying, okay, I have $3 million in the bank. You can't touch that. Now, if I get another $6 million, that has nothing. Well, you can though, Shatter. You can say up to 70%. If we do end up getting a divorce, up to 70% of what I have. Like, you can add that in. I've seen prenups that are 10 pages long. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. You could fucking write up whatever you want as long as it's notarized and signed, and you have a witness. Hey man, good luck.
That's crazy. So what if we were married? Okay.
Forget that I'm staying married. I'm already 39 years. What's 30 more? There's an old saying. It's cheaper to keep her. There's a reason why that's a saying.
That's depressing.
That's a saying.
I wonder if that's a saying so that way you don't push your trash onto another man. You know?
One man. Well, then now I'm gonna hit you with another one. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
You're gonna love her. You know she hasn't looked like that in 12 years, right?
So, God, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I don't remember.
You forgot. You forgot from 10 seconds ago.
That's crazy.
She got bike, Mustang, one truck, half of a joint bank account. I got half of the bank account, other truck and house. Well, the good thing with the house is the house retains its value. So house would always be more profitable than a vehicle. Always. It doesn't matter. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about something that's historic, but even then it's not going to gain the same type of equity that a house can gain. So a house would be the most profitable thing to keep. Oh yeah, I've seen those. I've seen those in prenups. Yep.
What?
Sex certain times a week.
Stop.
Yeah, you'll see it.
He needs that on paper.
Yeah, you'll see it.
What if
You'll
he just
see it.
looks good? Like, is that an option?
No, it's a thing, literally. And if you don't abide by this, then that's terms for divorce. Yeah.
You only gave me your pussy 2 times this week. You're gonna have to leave.
You
Gotta go.
That's you can't be here. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. Told you it was gonna take them hours.
They're doing a good job though.
Yeah, I think they finally got the little things off. I hope they're doing inside. I would think that they would.
We didn't pay for inside. That was the outside price.
Wait, isn't when you get a detail inside and outside?
It depends. We picked option 2. Option 2 was exterior, I believe.
Yeah, I had to sell my house for my divorce, or he was going to take it, even though I paid for it all in my own money. See now, Lace. See
then
now,
you deserve the
that's
house.
right. That's right.
You
That's
paid
yours.
for it.
That's yours.
Exactly.
That's yours. Fuck that shit. No, that's yours. See, no.
That's
see,
not
and
fair.
I'm not playing favorites towards a woman. Whoever bought it,
yes,
owns the house. It's that simple. There's nothing. I don't give a shit what that's the rule. That's it. Especially if you had the house before. Oh my God. Why do you get half of that? I had that money prior to you. Why do you get that? What? Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'll check, Lace. They're going to come inside. They're doing a stage 4 polish, which basically means like removing a layer of clear coat. Those bugs, man, never again. I would rather take the yellow TTRS. You see him with the buffer wheel? You see him? I would rather take the TTRS because it's yellow. I'd get away with those bugs on there. On the black, oh, you stupid bugs.
buddy of mine put in a prenuptial agreement. If he bought his wife breast implants, he was allowed to see when he wants, no matter married or not.
Well, you could even go as far as taking them out. Oh yes.
Stop.
Oh yeah, look it up, dude. I'm not playing.
We get divorced, I get those back.
You could either give them back, you could give me back the implants that I paid for, or you could give me the money that I bought those for. Fuck yes.
Because it was an investment?
Yup. Absolutely. Absolutely,
oh, wow.
dude. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can a wife make a prenuptial agreement? Like, if I get married to you, I need this, this, and this.
Wet sand, cut, and buff, huh? Yeah. Yeah, wet sand, cut a clear coat, and buff. Yes, on a brand new car. Because of fucking bugs. Yep, that's why they say it's cheaper to keep her.
I'm not paying for someone else's pleasure. So
it's a good point, Mike, right? Like, I pay for those, so someone else is going to be feeling on me paying for them now. Of course, they lose their value, you know. It's not 10 grand anymore. Those are 2 years used. So, yeah, I still need 7 for it.
It's just, at that point, it's just a matter of, what is it called? Stubbornness? Like, I'm going to keep them in a jar on my mantelpiece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that if, say an old woman dies and she has breast implants, can the husband be like, can you cut those out and put them in a jar for me so I can keep those? Like, well, is that weird?
No, you can even go as far as like requesting appendages.
What? I could be like, I want his kidney.
Well, that would be an organ. You can say I want a finger. You can. Who's going to tell you no?
How do you keep it?
Put it in a jar of formaldehyde.
Then when the grandkids
How
come
do you-
over,
what-
what is this?
How do you think Napoleon's dick has been rotated so much?
People are
They
dark.
took it off, and yeah, well, look, it is what it is.
Ooh, on Nip Tuck, a lady came in. She wanted breast implants.
Yeah.
She had ashes. She's like, I want my husband's ashes inside of my implants. That way he's always right here next to my heart. They put the ashes in the implant. It was sterile.
Was the implant silicone or saline?
Saline?
Okay, so it was water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next day, a woman comes in and is like, there's a lady here. She has my husband's ashes. Where is she? It wasn't her husband. She was the mistress.
Wait, is this real? No, this was on a show.
Tuck.
Oh, it was on a show. I was gonna say, God, dog.
So
Oh shit.
they had to take the implants out, get the ashes out, give the ashes to the real wife, but because there was a lawyer there, but they didn't actually do it. They said they did. They gave the wife like ashes from like cigarettes.
What a weird request to put ashes into a.
Into an
We're
implant.
still working on that spot. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, Rainwalker. I'm not one of those people like you know on the back of your license you could donate organs like to for someone that needs it or just an organ donor. I don't want to be one of those people. I know that sounds a little shady, but no offense, that's mine. You know what I mean? Like that's mine. I don't want to give that to somebody.
Yeah, in some religions they can't do that. They can't give a part of themselves away, else they won't go to heaven.
Yeah, no, but then you don't check the organ donor. Are you an organ donor on the back of your license?
I hope not. I don't think so. I don't want to give my body to somebody else. Can they take my implants? Like, she's dead. Let's sell these half off. Like,
Well, they're not going to sell them you. I don't think so. I think they would leave them in your body.
I
I
can see
don't-
buying used implants in Mexico. I think that's a thing.
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like they would just leave them in.
Well, if
If you're getting cremated, they'll leave them in. If you're getting buried, well, I would assume either way they're going to leave them in. I don't know. That's a good question.
like hip implants are probably worth a lot as well, right? Do they keep those? Mortuary
hold on.
resells them.
Hold on, I want to look this up. When you die, do they leave implants in? Cremated with the body, but they can potentially melt and leave a gelatinous goo on the bottom of the machine. Cremation of the American stance on is basically don't worry about it. Yeah, so they typically leave it in when
So it's messy.
What happens to prosthetics and implants after you die? Prosthetics, I feel a little bit different. I mean, it's a leg.
Let's see. What about medical insurance? Does the woman have the right to remain on the man's remainder of the policy? Huh. Is that true?
Inert devices such as breast implants and replacement hips tend not to be removed after death, largely because there's no compelling reason to do so, and they pose little threat to the environment. So it's likely that the archaeologists of future centuries will uncover peculiar objects in the graves of millennial dead. Silicone bags, plastic teeth, sculpted metal bones. It's a different story for cremation. In a furnace, silicone may burn up, but not the metal in implants, such as titanium or cobalt alloy. It's often separated from the ash and disposed separately. Even tiny amounts of precious metals, such as gold fillings, can be discovered by waving a metal detector over the ashes. Yeah, so yeah,
Whoa.
they'll leave in like implants, but as far as like metal, they'll take out. Right, so I was accurate. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, and not speaking of organs, but speaking of donating, they're asking for people to come and donate plasma and spinal fluid
Oh.
to help COVID patients, which I think is a big ask. Like spinal fluid and plasma are both extensively long and
Who's
painful
asking
process.
for that?
Jersey. Like plasma, I believe you're hooked up to a machine for like 3 hours as
Yeah,
they
it's
siphon
long.
your blood.
Yeah, and then it's separate. Then they separate it. Yeah.
And then for spinal fluid, you have
And
to
the
lay on your
plasma
side.
syringe that they stick in your arm is not a regular.
It's not.
No, it's not a. It's a juicy syringe. It's probably. Oh my God, 16, 18 gauge. It's a juicy. It's a
Ooh.
juicy needle.
I don't want
Because
that.
they're trying to get as much of it that they can.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't know why they would need spinal fluid, like a spinal tap.
Yeah, they were talking
Spinal
about
taps
it on
are
the news.
not fucking comfortable at all. Oh
yeah,
my
something about
God.
the cells would help a immunocompromised COVID patient recover faster. Like that's what they said. Like that's what that was for.
So like stem cells is what they're looking for? Because
I
that's usually what
guess.
you get out of spine,
Yeah.
is stem cells.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Because they said that part was for the immunocompromised.
Well, maybe you should have gave your own stem cells.
You do that?
Yeah, you could do that. You could go to a doctor right now and say you want your own stem cells in case you ever get cancer.
What?
And then use your own stem cells to fight the cancer. Absolutely.
Why doesn't everybody do that when they're born?
Well, your stem cells aren't. I don't think they're there when you're born. I think it takes time for you to create stem cells.
Well, why don't they do that for you just normally?
Because it's not pleasant. It's not like a fun time. You can't just be like, hey, I'm going to go to the doctor today and give 2 stem cells. No. That's, nope. That's why they're probably doing the spinals for the stem cells.
That's dark.
Yeah, the spinal taps in general. Oh my God, yo.
Oh, speaking of, I see they're not doing resuscitation on COVID patients. One of the problems. What? They're not resuscitating people?
It's crazy.
Oh,
I guess they don't want to put their mouth on them.
Oh, that would make sense.
You don't necessarily, if you're in a medical environment, you don't need a mouth to resuscitate. You have defibrillators. You have things that you could give them oxygen without using a mouth. Is that real? Excuse me, is that real? Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I'd say an hour to 2 hours, almighty, depending on how much plasma they get. But the syringe is usually larger than that of something that you would just give blood to be tested. Wow. Yeah, plasma's not bad. The spinal tap is. But to ask people to give plasma, I think is well, I don't know. I'm more for freedom of you do what you want. It's your body.
So, New York implemented a do not resuscitate order for cardiac patients. Doctors all around the United States have considered do not resuscitate orders for coronavirus patients. This is real.
So doing DNRs?
Yeah, for anybody. New Jersey hospitals do not resuscitate orders for coronavirus patients.
Wait, who's signing the DNR then?
I don't know.
Because the person that, like, let's just say I want a DNR, like if I'm dying, right? Like my mom had a DNR. So but the thing is, my mom didn't actually sign the DNR. She was so far gone that it was kind of overridden. Basically, even if we resuscitate, she's still going to die. So no matter what. But usually with the DNR, that's usually typically the case of the person. I want a DNR. So if I go, don't try to bring me back. That's crazy that they're implementing that.
Yeah, this one says
yeah, and then if the spinal tap is not done correctly, Zach, it could leak. You could have a hole in your back for a long ass time.
What?
You could have, and the way you have to like bend over for the spinal tap, it's just not fun. Spinal taps are not fun. They don't feel good. It's a very uncomfortable thing that
That no one's thought of a better way to do it?
there is no better way to do it. That is the best way to do it. A spinal tap, like to get stem cells and shit, and to test for certain diseases.
That's crazy.
Are you sure that the car detail did not include interior?
Honestly, I'm about 90% sure. Like, I was 100, but you brought me down a smidge.
Yeah, Lace, that's the DNR. That's the DNR that I'm aware of, is where the patient, so to speak, has to do it. Like the patient does it.
Oh, what? He's gotten metal implants working at a recycling yard. Like, people recycle them for money. Ew.
I don't know if you saw my post when I've received implants. Like what kind of implants, Mike? Like a hip bone? Like a titanium hip? Your dad's sick, Eddie? I wasn't aware of that. How come I don't know? Jay, well, if someone has, like, for instance, my mom had two very, 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 I've never spoken about this. I'd probably speak about it on the Crowdcast, but she had two of the most toxic diseases that one body can endure. And when you take drugs for one, it kind of overrides the other and makes the other one more susceptible to problems. And her cancer got so bad, it started in the breast in the 90s. She had a mastectomy, right?
Where they take out the breast?
Yeah, where they took out one breast, and then the second breast had like 42 lumps, and she had a lumpectomy where they removed all the lumps. And then it got down to it where she had to take the second one out. That was about 5 years later, goes into recession, and then it spread to her liver. She ended up doing chemo for that, but because of the other disease, she couldn't do too much chemo. Then she went through radiation. And then that went away for about 4 years. And then it came back early 2000s, 2006, 2007. And then it spread to her lungs. And then from her lungs, it went to all her lymph nodes. So she had like cancer in her armpits. It was bad. And then when she was in hospice, it literally spread to her brain almost overnight. And there was a point where she was not cognitive enough to sign a piece of paper to understand what she was doing. So it was a matter of inside.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, that's not inside yet. But it got to a point where the doctors had said to me and my sister, listen, do you want to implement a DNR? And we were unsure. And they said, okay, well, we'll give you our medical expertise, and then you just give us the green light on it. And that was it. Never signed anything for a DNR, though. So.
Wow.
Did Eddie respond to me? Because I didn't see him respond to me. No, he didn't respond. Yeah, radiation is tough, man. Even chemo. Chemo's doing so much damage to your internal organs. I mean, you're putting some. It's like it's just bad. It's bad stuff. Yeah. Oh, if you're saying what the governor's doing, yeah, I would agree. That's against a lot of things. With my mother's situation, there was no. What are you gonna do? You gonna argue? Yeah, let's keep her alive with brain cancer. No, that's it, dude. Like it's over. It's a good game, man. That's it. Oh, okay, Eddie. Yeah, and usually DNRs don't expire either. Like they don't unless the DNR specifically states that. Still back on that spot again. I'm telling you, never again with Florida. If I might drive all the way to Florida, but once I get to the Love Bug area, that's when I swap out cars. I'll take something else that is, Or get like what do they call them? Those bras that you put across the whole front of your hood, like a car bra. You know what I'm talking about? But that would only cover a quarter of the hood.
There was a special type of wax that I saw online. You take it to a car place, tell them to cover your car in it, and then when you get back, they remove it.
You can also use
It's like a clear coat.
Yeah, you can also use the pledge, right? Pledge, you put pledge on the car.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about
yeah,
that. That sounds sketchy.
I don't know about letting pledge sit on a clear coat, man. For some reason, that
For like
just
a week?
I feel like that's just gonna rip the clear coat apart. Putting pledge on there? It's just designed to clean lacquer. I don't know why you would put pledge on a car, but apparently that's something they recommend online. Yeah, Lace, I could do that, or just put aluminum foil on the whole front of the car. Yeah.
Why don't they make like a snap-on protector?
You think they would, especially for that area. If you know that this is the time that it's Love Bug Central.
Oh, no one probably gets their deposit backs on their leases?
Yeah, especially if you let that sit in the sun, that hot sun. Ooh. Oh, can you imagine riding a bike through that? A motorcycle?
You'd lose an eye.
Yo, I don't even know how you would do that. That did we even see a motorcycle down that route when we were hitting the bugs? Nah. Nothing.
No, we saw one dude on a motorcycle, but he was on like one of those 3-wheel jammies.
Yeah, 1 hour 17 minutes. Want to sum it up? All right, guys. Well, hopefully you had a fun time watching us. A little bit different. Breaking in Bree's nervousness. So fascinated. Yeah, thank you all for coming by and watching us, and make sure you subscribe. And we'll do some more taste testing for you. Just don't expect a lot of it. We have a bra thing coming out soon. It's gonna be quite fun. Do you want to tell them what the one bra is?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I found extremely useful bras online.
Yeah, look how long it takes to delay. I wonder why it's so bad.
Oh, extremely long.
Super
Our upload
long.
is terrible here.
It's terrible.
Terrible. At my house, I can upload a 3 gig file in like 3 minutes, not even. Maybe
Easy.
2 minutes.
Yeah, easy.
Here, 3 hours. It's terrible.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to dip out of here. You guys be good. Thank you all for watching. Stay beautiful. And do you want to say anything to them?
Have a great day.
Have a great day. You guys be good.